Hey, Blue Table fans. Welcome to my front porch again. Instead of watching my feet and my lawn that's completely out of control, I thought I would put up some pictures of other stuff. My name is Sean Gately. I live in Utah Valley, Utah. My wife is from here, and I am actually from Oregon and consider myself an Oregon native. I've been married 16 years to my gorgeous eternal queen, who I've had sort of a fairy tale romance with all these many years. We met at church, and we were engaged within 19 days. Don't recommend that to everybody, but it certainly worked out for us and our now 4 children. And four is where we're going to stay. We absolutely just love our life together, and I'm really having a good time. Got a dream life, dream kids, dream wife, dream job, dream everything. And I live in a pretty good neighborhood too. Hey fellas. So onward with the show. A lot of people ask me about Army list creation, and in fact I really have to apologize if you have not received an answer from me, like with some hobby related item, because I really, just as much as I want to, I just can't answer that many emails in a day. So I just have sort of a generic response that sends people to certain forums. I'm going to go ahead and link those in here to this YouTube video. And so anyway, but here's my generic sort of answer to that, which is what army should I play and what should I have in it? Okay, first some considerations. And we're talking about 40K here. Let's just start with 40K, and hopefully I can do Warhammer Fantasy if I got the time, and maybe even talk about some other games too. For 40K, there's 2 types of armies. There are ones that have come after they've started making the codexes more muscular, and there are armies that are before that. So just off the top of my head, the armies that are most competitive or have the most options are, let's see, Tyranids, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Space Marines. You've got, oh, I know I'm forgetting something, Chaos, Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard got a huge boost. It's really most of them. Generally recognized is that the weakest codex is Necrons. Now, let's see, what are the other ones? You've got Tau. Tau are lagging. They can be played very well. Now, if you play one of these armies and had success, don't get me wrong. I think they're all great. But when it comes down to it in a highly competitive environment where everything is just maxed out, there are, quite frankly, some codexes that are more powerful than other ones. They just have better options, and they're more muscular, as I said. You'll excuse if you hear the wind blowing. That's the gentle Utah summer breeze. By the way, I live at the foot of Himalaya-like mountains that are gorgeous and snowy most of the year, and I live on a high desert plateau. So there's no bugs, the air is clean, the water is clean. It's really quite a gorgeous place to live. Anyway, back to the topic. What a lot of people don't consider is not just competitiveness, but how fun the army is going to be to play. And you also have to consider what sort of gaming group you have, and that ties in too. So, you know, if you just play with friends, then your life is good, because you don't have to really max things out in order to have a good time. You can play something that's fun, you can paint up a unit or 2 every month, and still keep things spicy. And so if you're looking for just raw power, then there are lots of different websites that you can that you can go to, and really it comes down to like if you go to a large tournament like Adepticon, so many you know, there's probably only 5 to 15 different Army builds that you're going to see at a tournament. And then, of course, minor variations on a theme. But I think that really misses the point. And, of course, you've heard people saying, hey, the game was meant to be played for fun. Well, getting your butt kicked up around your shoulders every game really isn't fun after a while. And so you want to be at least moderately on par with the rest of your group. Now, I'm kind of coming at this from the perspective of the whipping boy. And really, I just have to admit that I've just always been too lazy to really get to know the game and read the rules and memorize every new edition. And so in a way, I am playing just casually. I'm playing for fun. And I really like playing with someone who's in a similar mindset. And so back to Army list advice. If you're picking an army, you want to pick one that's not terrible. You want to pick something that is not a one-trick pony. So that's my first piece of advice. Is you know, a lot of people, they'll read their codex or read an army that they're interested in, and they'll be like, oh, dreadnoughts are so awesome, I'm going to have an army with 10 dreadnoughts in it. Well, that's fun until your opponent decides to counter that. And typically, if someone's thinking in a very shallow manner with regards to their army list, that's what they'll come up with. They'll try and figure out what are the best units. But the real power of the army list, especially the new ones they've made, is how all the different units synergize. And in my opinion, if a codex is written well, it doesn't need to like almost any unit will work. You just need a mix. You need a different roles. So you got to go with oh wow, I lost my train of thought. Alright, let's go ahead and just move on. You also have to look at what units are fun. What units are going to be interesting to play. Okay, here comes my wife's brother, who's staying with us for a little while, driving up to the driveway. Okay, so you got to think of what's going to be fun to play. Like, I play Eldar because I like how they look, I like the background, and I like the models. I guess that's like the look as well. And I like to play grav vehicles that can zoom around 24 inches a turn. That's just fun. Win or lose, I got to zip around like, you know, a madman. Alright, there they go. Alright, so a good unit has a cool name, does a cool thing, and has a cool model to go along with it. So really, another thing to consider when picking your army is how many models you got to paint. You know, if you're playing Warhammer Fantasy, Skaven, not such a good army to start with, because you're looking at painting a lot of guys. So when it comes down to brass tacks, for beginners, I recommend the following armies. I recommend Chaos Space Marines, I recommend Demons, and I recommend regular Space Marines. It's because these armies are very forgiving, and they are good for beginners. Oh, and they have a lot of modeling possibilities too, especially the Chaos stuff. Now, if you want some finesse and some room to grow, try Eldar or Tau. Tau probably are an army that's pretty low model count and pretty easy to paint. But boy, you better be on your toes if you're going to take people to the cleaners every time. So I think I'm running out of time, so I will sign off, and next time I'll do something for Warhammer Fantasy.